My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. All kidding aside, hi, I'm Ryan with Shoe, and today I'm doing something a little different. I did not expect to make this video. I've been looking at this pair of Allen Edmonds Park Avenue boots for a while. I finally pulled the trigger on some factory seconds, and I got them home, did an inspection, and there is something inexcusable about these boots, and I want to talk about that in this video and talk about the state of Allen Edmonds in general, especially their boots. But just as a heads up, this isn't going to be a bash fest on Allen Edmonds. I know there's lots of YouTube videos that go into the declining quality of the brand. I still love this brand. I am loyal to Allen Edmonds. I purchased many pairs of Allen Edmonds shoes and I love them. And all I wanted was a pair of boots that was built like their shoes, and it just seems like that's not something you can get. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I think is inexcusable with this boot and with their other boots. And I also think I have the solution of how to help them fix this problem in a way where they're not going to have to spend any money to do it. It's going to be something free for them to do, and they could make such a better quality boot. I'll also be comparing it to my original Park Avenue shoes, my dress shoes, which I love. I love this pair of shoes. Many might look at this pair of shoes and think there are a lot of flaws, but I still love them. And I wish these were built like this, and they're not. I'll even take it a step further and we'll look at a pair of Allen Edmonds shoes that I cut in half. And not to disparage the brand, but to actually show what I like so much about them. But again, this is not the same as this, and that is the problem. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope even if you're not an Allen Edmonds fan, you'll view this video. Hope it will get some tractions, and I hope they'll make some changes with their boots in the future. What I'll do now is we'll turn the camera around. We're going to inspect these boots and what I found disappointing about them, and we're going to find the solution for them. Here's a close-up of the boot, and we're not going to do a quality control of the boot. There's plenty of quality control videos about Allen Edmonds online, and my older pair of Park Avenues is just a better pair of shoes. This is, of course, built more recently, so the quality has gone down a little bit, but I still think Allen Edmonds is worth the price for the most part with their dress shoes. And one huge caveat to everything I say, I've never bought a pair of Allen Edmonds at full price. So I've always gotten a sale on them. I've never paid, this is a $500 boot. I would never pay $500 for this boot, but I know this boot goes on sale so much, the factory first version of it, that I would never even need to think about paying that type of money for this boot. It's on sale 4 times a year at least. So I don't view this as a $500 boot, and I don't look at it through the lens of a $500 boot. I look at it from the lens of a less expensive boot because, of course, I would never pay full price for this boot, but we're not going to go over all the different aspects of how it's changed from the classic Park Avenue here and how it's changed to this. What we're going to look at is the thing that absolutely offends me the most about this boot. And again, at the end, we'll talk about what I think can be done to fix it at not a lot of cost or no cost at all, possibly. It all comes down to what they're using as the insole for this boot. And to kind of reference what I'm talking about, let's get out this pair of Allen Edmonds that I cut in half in a video several months back that literally nobody watched, and that's okay. You get to pick what you want to watch. But this is, and yeah, sorry, this is, I cut this half kind of bush league, but it was, what I did. It's what I got. So this is what I love about Allen Edmonds and what you get with their shoes. It's how this shoe is built. It is built identically, even though this is a Carlisle instead of a Park Avenue. But what you have, and this is how I believe dress shoes should be built. You have a thick veg tan insole. Now that thick veg tan insole serves as a lasting board where you last the boot, and then you have your gimming, which you have your welt that sews the welt to, and then you have your outsole. Now, this is my favorite style for a dress boot, and I think it's unbelievably comfortable when you build a boot like, or a shoe like this, and a boot like that. If this was built, would be great, but it's not. What you have is a thick veg tan insole that molds to your foot with that cork filler. Now, that filler we know fills the gap that the gimming makes and the welt makes, and that cork filler compresses to your foot. And then you have that thick veg tan sole that also kind of compresses. And what it makes is like a orthopedic footprint for the shoe. And what I've liked about Allen Edmonds, and I think is really special about the brand, is how they do something a little different. And it comes to their top lift. Because how they install their top lift, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a thin piece of rubber between the stack and the heel rubber. I don't know if the cut in half is any easier. But what that essentially means is they can put the heel stack on, they can glue that on, they can glue that thin piece of rubber, and then they can nail it from the bottom up. And then they glue the heel stack on, and that glue is great. I mean, this, I've never had a heel stack fall off. They wear down before they would fall off because the glue is failing. So what that allows them to do is they don't nail going from the top down. Most shoes nail from the top down, and so you have a half sock liner, and that's fine. It's not a big deal, but I think the way that they nail from the bottom up, so that their lasting board is just one piece of veg tan leather. There's nothing breaking up this piece. Your foot conforms to this piece of leather, and it is like the most comfortable shoe that you can have. And this is exactly, again, how my Park Avenues are made. If I pull the shoe tree out, this is how it's made. Again, nothing breaking this line, nothing breaking the sole. It's just that one piece of veg tan leather that conforms to your feet and makes the shoe super comfortable. Again, leather sole. This was a factory seconds Park Avenue, and I've had it for years. I love it. It's amazing. No complaints. If the boot was built like this Park Avenue, I would love it, even despite the minor flaws that it has. So there you go. That is how the dress shoe and the dress boot should be made. Is that how this boot is made? Well, you know, you've heard me ranting. No, it's not how it's made. This, I can't even show you. And this is what I'm wondering with Allen Edmonds. Do they know that people, it's hard for people to get inside a boot to see what it looks like? It's easy for the shoe. I can easily see the veg tan insole. But with the boot, it's harder, right? It's harder to get down there. So what they do is something like a Thursday boot, really. They take a fiberboard lasting board, they cover it with foam, and they put a thin leather insole in the boot. So now you're not breaking in that leather insole, you're breaking in the cork underneath it, that fiberboard, and the sole, which just ultimately makes it not as comfortable. This is so comfortable. Once you've broken this into your foot, you can get it resold from Allen Edmonds 3 times, and you'll have a boot that is fully broken into your foot. It's the most comfortable boot that you could have, or shoe that you could have. But having just that fiberboard, man, yeah, maybe because the fiberboard and the foam, maybe instantly it's more comfortable. You don't have to break it in, but that's not what we want. We want to break it in. We want it to mold around our foot, and then we want to be able to resole the boot over and over again with that same footprint. But this is not how this boot will be. The inside of this boot will fall apart, and if someone pays $500 for the factory first and gets that type of insole, that is not good. That needs to change. Allen Edmonds, you can do better than this, and I'm going to tell you how you can do that in just a moment. But that is my main beef with this boot. You know, people talk about the heel stacks and how they hate the heel stacks. Let me tell you something about the heel stacks of Allen Edmonds. So it is a compressed leather board. It's not stacked leather. And man, people get passionate about that. And yeah, you should have stacked leather for a $400 pair of shoes. You know, I paid what, like $250 for that. So I'm fine with this leather board. But let me tell you why I love that leather board heel. And they could do this with leather, so keep that in mind. But look at that. If you look down, the inside of the shoe is taller than the outside of the shoe. What that does is it rocks the shoe over like this. Now, this is being dramatic, but it just moves the shoe over. What that ends up doing is it supports you under your heel, and it gives it this nice heel support. So I have flat arches. That is enough, that little slight kick to the outside, that it supports my arches better, and it makes this shoe comfortable to wear for long hours. I can wear my Park Avenues here for like 16 hours and is going to be comfortable. First of all, that's broken into my foot, which is amazing, but just how that is a little bit taller on the inside of the shoes, it just just kind of tilts the shoe that way and it makes it so much better. So I think that's great. Allen Edmonds is the only one I know that does that. I know the Aldens that I have like a Thomas heel and they have some arch support built into the actual counter of the boot. That helps too. But again, the Allen Edmonds heel stack makes the boot super comfortable. So now let's kind of conclude the video and talk about what you could do to make these amazing. What is this solution I've been alluding to throughout the video that will help them get a better quality boot? Like I've talked about, Allen Edmonds, that's how they build their boots. If you want to see more about how they build their boots, you can see a Rose Ansbill's channel where he cuts a pair in half. But all we need to do is we need to take the leather blasting board, that leather insole, that full grain veg tan leather insole, and just put it into the boot. Now you're gonna say, well, that costs money, right? And I'm sure there's what, $5. I mean, they're using some sort of blasting board, so why don't you just put the leather in there? It's just gonna be a little bit more per pair, and that's true. It's going to cost some money. But this is how you save the money by making a better boot. Stop with this advertising that just hits me over the head with ads. Every time I check my email, it feels like I have 15 ads from Allen Edmonds. When I go on different websites, I see Allen Edmonds ads on the side of the website. It's just like I'm overwhelmed by the amount of ads that this company gives me. I'm already a fan. I already have purchased many pairs of boots. I don't need to know about every sale that's going on. So, this is what I think. Don't do that. Cut your ad campaign back, make a better boot, put the money into that, and then send that better boot to some of these YouTubers who are interested in boot reviews. Allen Edmonds, you need to be relevant again. You need to have young people trying on your boots, not these models that you have in your Instagram ads that are wearing sneakers that are called Allen Edmonds that are made in the Dominican Republic. You have something great. You have a factory in Port Washington, Wisconsin. You can make a great boot. Make it. Then send it to influencers. Just send it to them free and they will make reviews on it. They may help save your reputation, which could only help your business at this point. That's just my thought. You don't even have to give one to me. Give one to Weston from Rose Anvil. Give one to Nick English from Stridewise. Give a pair to Dale from Dale's Leatherworks. Tech from Bootlossy. Give them a pair of a heritage style boot. Build your boot just like you built this shoe, and everything will work its way out. They'll review it. People will buy it. You'll be relevant again, and you can have pride in the brand. It's not just about the bottom line. Wake up, do this, and you will see benefits from it. I'll make a video. I'll buy a pair of my own money to make a video on it to promote the better Allen Edmonds boot if you ever make it. So that's my rant. I know I got a little bit passionate there. I've been buying Allen Edmonds for years. I love the brand. This is pathetic. I do not want to be standing on a piece of fiberboard for 12 hours a day with my work. This should be the best that you have. Yeah, making a more affordable boot, that's fine like this, but your Park Avenue, your main model to be built like that, that's not good. That's not good. So thank you so much. If you were someone with Allen Edmonds, thank you for watching to this point. Like you probably disliked it by now. And thank you if you're a subscriber for watching this video to this point. I probably didn't sell you on the brand, but I still do love their shoes. I have many pairs of their shoes. They're the most comfortable shoes that I have for the reasons that I talked about earlier. So I do love the brand. I do love their shoes, but this has got to change. Please let me know if you have any questions about Allen Edmonds or about the brands in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.